Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday night's Messages of Love from Above and happy Gemini new moon weekend. We'll talk about that in a moment here. But before we get into the readings and other information, I'm going to go ahead and send love out to the world. And if you'd like to join me in doing that, I welcome it. The more of us that do it together, we multiply the love out to the world. We don't just add together, but we multiply it. So the more of us that do it, the more impact we actually do have on the world, and we do make an impact on the world. They say like the love vibration, the unconditional love vibration is like the highest love vibration, the highest vibration and powerful vibration in this realm. And so when we send it out, it counteracts so much of the lower vibration because it's so much more powerful. We can transform a lot of the fear energy and lower vibrational energy of the planet. So I love doing it, and thank you for joining me in doing that. Whether you're watching live or on replay too, it's outside of space and time. So you could watch this a year from now, and it could still come back to this moment in time, space, and give your energy. So I love that. So we're going to take a big, deep breath and come back to right here, right now. Just allow that love to flow down into our heart and fill us up and flow out to the world, circling the globe in a giant bubble of love, activating any heart that's ready to move higher and higher and higher in love vibration. And if you yourself are in need of unconditional love in this moment for your own heart, your mind, your body, for a loved one who's going through something, for a situation, for a relationship, whatever it may be, we send that love to you right now as well. Just allow it to circle you and soak into you like a giant sponge, like a plant takes in the sunlight from the sun. Take it as a big hug from your spiritual support team, filling you up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me and doing that and allowing me the space for this. And before we get into talking about the new moon, I do want to make sure just get some other little things out of the way. I always like to let everyone know that I do offer a giveaway every Monday for at least one personal recorded reading. This Monday, I am giving away two 30-minute personal recorded readings. But every Tuesday, I put out a video announcing what I'm giving away, how you can get into the drawing, and any other giveaway news. So here's the video for this last Tuesday. So if you're interested in getting into the drawing, that's where you can look at that from. And this morning, I launched a new weekly video series that I'm going to be doing called Take 10 with Zen, which are videos that are 10 minutes and under, one a week, that just talks about a subject that helps us, like it says there, to answer questions that help us connect to the spirit realm and remember who we really are. I do take questions from my subscribers, so if you want to post any questions on the bottom of the video, or it talks about emailing me too. If you don't want to put it out there in front of everyone, you can do that too. And there's a special drawing in that one for the launch of this. I'm going to be giving away a 30-minute personal recorded reading for that too. So be sure to watch that video to find out how to do that. And then, of course, every month I do put out readings for each individual zodiac sign, monthly readings. Can't believe it's the middle of June already. But here's the playlist for that. So if you want to check out, the videos were averaged around 40 minutes. So they went into some pretty good detail, giving some different perspectives. So be sure to check that out. And then Also, each week I put out at least one pick a card reading, and this week's was "What Can I Be Watching For?" These were pretty cool, although I think they're all pretty cool with what spirit brings through. So be sure to check that out. And if you ever want to look at my playlist on my main page, I have a ton of pick a cards that are there too. If you ever need some additional messages. So that is the skinny on those. And before we get into the readings, we have a beautiful full moon, not full moon, a new moon in Gemini that's coming up here. Here where I'm at mountain time, it's tomorrow on the 17th, but it's like 10:30 at night. And so wherever you're at, that's mountain standard time. So wherever you're at in the world, it might be actually on Sunday, the 18th. So you can look at it and adjust the timing in that. But it's a great time, where full moons are releasing kind of ceremonies, it's letting things go. Um, really, these big awarenesses of what we're dropping away. It's clearing like the garden for the new moon, which is where we plant new things. We have these new births. We have this new energy that comes in. So it's a perfect time where we're actually given 10 new moon wishes that we can put out there to the universe. And some important things around that is if you make these new moon wishes within 8 hours after the new moon starts, that's like the one of the most powerful times to do it. And also, if you focus the energy of the new moon sign in the time, so this time it's Gemini, so if you focus on the energies around what Gemini represents, it's even more powerful. So these new moon wishes will, be really full of a lot of power and a lot of manifestation energy. There's a few other things that you can do around new moon wishes that can add extra uh, you know, um, energy around it. The first is to make it a positive wish for what you want brought into your life rather than focusing on what you want removed. So, a new moon wish isn't like, I want this, person to leave me alone. That energy isn't most conducive. You can instead, have it like, thank you for bringing the people and keeping the people in my life that are for my most highest experience. Then the new moon will be like, well, this person isn't, bam. So it'll bring in and it won't leave room for this other person. You see how that works? Also hand writing out the wishes, and you have one item per wish. So if you have 10 wishes, it's not like a paragraph, it's like a one sentence about what the one thing that you want. It's 10 individual wishes, right? And if you approach the wish with gratitude, like I said, thank you for the gratitude energy really pulls forward and amplifies the energy around it too. And if you voice them out loud, even while you're writing them, if you voice them out loud, this vocal vibration, it helps bring the energy into this world. It helps bring the wish and it helps activate it into the world. So if you can say it out loud, even more power comes in with that. And while you're doing that, if you experience what it would feel like in your heart if the wish would come true, that emotional energy behind it adds even more into there. Picturing it in your head as being complete and seeing it, activating the emotions that helps amplify that gratitude energy as well. And you can revisit the wishes as much as you want to. Saying them out loud, doing all that stuff just helps increase the energy around it as well. So those are all good. Now, the Gemini, if you're wondering, what you can focus on, which, so this is the Gemini energies. If you focus on things around transportation, like how do you get around, what upgrades or repairs are you seeking, how your leg health, those types of wishes can help that. It's all about movement with Gemini. So, are you feeling stagnant or having too much movement? Where can changes be made? So, you can ask, for wishes around those things. Gemini is also communication and writing and editing. So you can look at maybe visit how am I interacting with others? Is there something that I can ask for Newman Wish about increasing and improving that? Uh, Gemini, with all that learning and teaching, they love to learn, and they're great teachers because they learn so much and they're able to communicate things very well. So anything around learning or teaching, and this is whether no matter where you're at, it's sun sign or whatever. This is the energy that impacts us all, the entire collective of the planet. So you can use all this. And if, of course, you're Gemini moon or an air moon, Gemini sun, or have a lot of air or Gemini in your chart, you are feeling this energy more so than other signs. And then, of course, all of you beautiful empaths and people that are in that attend these lives. Generally, the moon's been impacting you for a couple days already, right? So, of course, Gemini is about overthinking, mental focus. Do you feel distracted, or you can't make a decision or won't make a decision? Where are you procrastinating, or can you use focus? You can use that energy around that. Are you out of balance with your social activities? Too much, too little? This can help too with that energy. And is it time for a change from the same old, or is it time to bring order to some area of your life? Is there too much change or not enough change? Where's this balance coming in? Also, you can. This is about travel to somewhere close by for a small amount of time. Like Sagittarius energy is more the traveling great distances and going foreign. Gemini energy is about transportation and movement, but it's about small distances, short amount of time. Sagittarius is like great distances for greater amount of time. So focus on that. Gemini also is all about the siblings, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, not parents or children, but that kind of family. So if you have anything that you're wanting to improve around them, this is good wishes for that too. Gemini energy rolls over the hands, the wrists, the arms, the shoulders, the respiratory tract, and the nervous system. So, any challenges you have around that, you can use this energy for it too. And I was just listening to an interesting meme on Instagram, and they were talking about the Gemini energy, of course, is all about we can get into this overthinking mode. And how do we get out of that, right? How do we get out of this overthinking? It was great because she talked about, you know, getting into the body, getting out of the head, feeling the feelings. So get out of the head, get into action, movement, emotions, that type of thing getting in there. But feeling the feels was a great way to do that too. So, some helpful information that's coming in around the Gemini new moon. So, enjoy your new moon wishes. Hopefully, that's helpful. I try to give you guys things that can help the most with your journey. So, um, I will refer back to this over the weekend and we will do that. So, in the meantime, here, I'm going to get my desktop all set up. Thanks for your patience as I went over that and we'll get into the readings. If you are new to my channel or to these readings, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a wonderful soul group here who have great senses of humor. I love that because I love to laugh and also huge hearts. So welcome to the family. And how the free readings work is I do go down in order in the chat room, first come first serve. There's no special list. The chat is the list. You just ask your question there and I get down to it in order. If you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for a general reading or guidance, and spirit knows what you want. But if anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I step out of the free readings and prioritize those, and I dive deeper, pulling more cards for them as well. And then I return back to the free readings and continue going down the list, usually on anywhere from an hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes longer. But I try to get through as many free readings as I can. The list gets long very fast, and but I do try. I do try. To make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom, and then also in the pinned comment and description of the video, it lists my Venmo, my Cash App, my PayPal, and my Square. And there's no set dollar amount for the donations. I know everyone's finances range from day to day, person to person, country to country, planet to planet. So, whatever you're able to give, I honor that. So I think that is everything. I think so, right? Did I leave anything out? If we did, we will cover it later, right? So, I am going to start off using the round tarot. I also have the good tarot to go back and forth with. And so we will get into the readings here. All right. So, Dijona Sturgis, you are the first free reading coming up here. And you want to know what your angels want you to know. All right. Let me just reactivate these cards real quick. There we go. And let's see. All right, boom, they are active. What else here? Anything else? All right. Well, let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. So they're sticking with the strength card here for you. One card. Major Arcana. Your angels, which, here's your higher self, represented by the infinity symbol, and here's your human self. And your spirit guides want you to, and your angels and everyone, connect more with your higher self, connect to and look to the spiritual realm. They're inviting you into this deep intimate relationship because they know that the human, when we're told to look outside of ourselves into the outside world, we are sorely disappointed. We're not satisfied. It doesn't it's like I always say it's like American Chinese food. We eat it and we're not filled for very long. We're hungry again in an hour. And we get desperate. We search so much in relationships and situations and things for because that's where we're told to fill up our self with, but we're never filled up. It's like throwing a pebble into a giant crater. It's like it looks really big when it's here, but as it falls, it gets really, really small, and you start to feel the emptiness, right? But when we eventually get tired of all that disappointment and the instability of the outside world, we do turn inward and upward. And that's where we find the only thing that is truly fulfilling and stable in this realm, which is the eternal, unconditional love of the upper realms. And so this is what the angels are wanting you to know is turn inward and upward. We have this fulfillment waiting, this energy waiting, this love waiting to raise your vibration, to draw in these beautiful things into your life. And so the angels are wanting just to have some time away, come and connect with your higher self and to your spiritual posse because there's some great things ahead. So I like it for you, Dijona, and that's what they have for you. So many, many blessings to you. All right. Let's take a look here. All right, very good. And maybe PayPal is working tonight with their emails because I did get an email through here for the Heart Sense. So thank you so much, Heart Sense, for your donation. And so you're looking for some guidance from your spirit guides. Absolutely. So let's take a look here and see what they have. Well, right, coming in. All right. So got some thinking going on. Well, with this Gemini, new moon, I can understand that. So let's take a look. Anything else here? Okay, not from there, but I feel like I want to pull a higher self oracle card for you. So let's take a look here. All right, that is the one. So got a little worry face on there. And let's take a look and see what they have coming in here. Hello, hello. All right. So there's a quote from Abraham Hicks that says, "Worrying is using your imagination to create something that you don't want." Wow, so that's pretty deep already. So it says this card indicates that there can be a presence of repetitive negative thoughts and emotions that can have become debilitating and can have prevented you from making sound decisions, which is what happens when we go into fight or flight, which is worry is fear, right? And when we do that, we go out of our minds, right? Our little 2-year-old and pet with their pet cat are in charge, not the compassionate, loving, intelligent side of us, which we all experience. So that makes sense. We can't make sound decisions when we are in a state of confusion. And it says you may be very concerned about money, health, relationships, family, or even your job. Yay. Or all the above. Excessive worrying about what might happen is affecting your physical and mental health. So your higher self is asking you to pause and breathe. So, in order to relieve yourself of your worries, write them down to get them off your chest and out of your mind. You may want to consider creating a worry box. Oh, I like this, where you can drop your worries in, close the box, and surrender them to your higher power. You're also being asked to accept the elements of your life that you can and cannot control and to surrender that which is out of your hands. Stop thinking about the worst case scenario and remember that you are a divine being and therefore naturally a manifester. Your thoughts create your reality. So, to avoid materializing the very thing that you're worried about, watch your thoughts and shift them immediately. If you're unable to shake away negative thoughts and emotions, try exercising, watching something funny, or working on a fun hobby. Make sure to stay in the present moment, which will help you avoid worrying about potential future problems. Do not hesitate to ask for help from your spiritual team if you find yourself chronically worrying about a situation or uncontrollable circumstance. Wow. So boom, some great advice, and I really like that they gave you a bunch of different options with those things too. And I there was this meme. Um, did I save it? I just want to take a look here because it sounds. Oh yeah, here it is. It says someone once told me if you stress too much about something before it happens, you put yourself through it twice. Isn't that deep? And yeah, and it says, "I feel like someone needed to hear that too." Obviously, I saved it because I'm like, that is a great thing to remember when we start to worry about things that, "Oh, I'm actually experiencing it twice instead of just once, so why put myself through it twice?" So, I like that coming in here, and then let's look at the cards they brought in here. All right, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we've got the King of Swords with the Ace of Swords. So this is all that thinking that we were just talking about with that card. So, of course, and then all this Gemini energy. I don't know if you just came in, go back to the beginning, or if you want, I don't want to sound like I'm ordering you. Go back to the beginning if you would like to. If you go back to the beginning after we're done here, and after I do the energy and I talk about, the different things that are available, I go into the new moon in Gemini that's this weekend, and it even talked about how to get out of our minds, just get into feeling our feelings, and it's talked about exercising like it did in that card too. So be sure to check that out because it feels like you're here a lot in your mind. I mean, you've got 3 out of 6 cards are swords, which is thinking, and here's the mental conflict that's going on here, you know, and, but here's the King of Swords who not only co-rules over the sword suit and the mind with the queen, but all the kings get a second portion of air, so they're the master of thought, which is like, I'm like, "Whoa, you're way a lot of thinking." And but you have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Swords, which give it's a gift to you from the universe, allowing you to see things from a higher perspective. from, from these capital T truths that are rooted in unconditional love that allow us to question and look at the fears that we have this conflict going on here because we're having conflict between higher truths and lower truths. And the lower truths, of course, are small t truths rooted in fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing conditional love, right? You feel ready to get them before they get me. Bum, 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 dun, dun, dun. But so I see these fear thoughts of you're fearing what that these things are not these expectations are not going to be met, and so these shoulds and supposed tos and need tos and have tos, and they're demanding your attention, which have thrown you into emotional confusion, right? Here's the emotional confusion card, um, which that's what happens when we go into fight or flight, like I was talking about. Our body's designed when we go into fear to not think, and to put us in this almost state of confusion so that we go into reaction mode where that 2-year old and that little pet cat, they just hiss and attack and or hiss and run away or attack then run away because they're just our inner child. Somehow that little 2-year old in there is feeling unsafe and out of control, and so it does what it feels it needs to feel back in control and safe again, which is hissing and attacking or hissing and running away, right? Or like I said, both. And so I like that there's this awareness coming around this. But when we have certain thoughts, we have no choice but to act a certain way, because that's how it is. And then once we question our thoughts and we change our thinking and our beliefs, then we can start acting differently. And it's good. It's powerful. Like it talked about, we're the ones every moment that choose what story we put to something, what emotion we feel, what energy we're investing. And we're the one that's, taking us into lower vibrational love energy, which attracts low vibrational experiences and people and relationships. But when we're focusing on gratitude and the higher thoughts and raising our vibration, our love vibration, we attract in things that are like we start focusing on what we're grateful for. And then that brings in more things to be grateful for and things that match the higher love vibration. So I like that it's not out of your hands, it's in your hands. And when Spirit first told me that, I was a little upset. I'm like, you mean I'm the one responsible for all that? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, well, I guess that's a good thing because I'd rather it be in my hands than be in all these other people's hands. I get to choose, not them. There surely everyone has their opinions telling me what I should be thinking and feeling and doing and blah blah blah, but I get to choose. I'm the one that's in power, right? You're on the throne. Right? And I like this. You definitely have this ending coming up here. You've got the death card, death and rebirth, and you've got the world card, which is the last card in the major arcana, which is ending of old cycles, moving into new. So you definitely have this renewal coming and this reset coming, which is initiated by the change of thought and belief. So when I was going through, like you said, it is a hard process because it's a habit. We all humans, except maybe Buddhist monk children who are given to the monastery when they're like 1 or 2 years old, they may not, but that's just like a small piece of the population. The rest of us are taught to focus on our fears, focus on what's not in our life, what's going wrong, and what does that do? It draws more of it in, right? So that's our habit. That's what we're taught over and over and over again. And what we can do, how do we change a habit, right? Repetition. And so I talk about on the channel here, because it works so well for me. That's what Spirit nudged me to do. Is like we had this amazing habit changer called a cell phone, which most of us have with us all the dang time, right? And so every waking hour, I would put it either every hour or every half hour, depending on how fast I want to change my habit. Um, and it's moving from this to this, right? Moving from fear to gratitude. And so I'd name the alarm like gratitude or joy or whatever I wanted to focus on expanding in my life, because, of course, we're naturally tuned and a habit to focus on fear. And then when when the alarm goes off, I'm like, oh, that's right. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Moments later, I'm getting sucked back out in here again out of habit. Alarm goes off again. Oh, that's right. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And it keeps going back to where eventually it takes longer to go over to this side, right? So that's what is coming in for me there for you, heart sense. Hopefully that helps. But I love this message for you, and I'm excited because it changes, and even doing a gratitude journal every day, um, like writing it out really helps too. Because I did one for 30 days. It was during this process, during this change, trying to change my habit from focusing on fear to love. And just in the journal, just every day, just once a day, I wrote down something that I was grateful for in my life, and tried not to repeat anything for 30 days. And then I got to the end of the 30 days, and I love the energy change that was happening with all of this, that I continued to do it. I just didn't go, well, I'm going to do it for another 30 days or whatever. I'm just like, I'm just going to continue to do it till I get sick of doing it. And at about 4.5 months or so is when I was like, okay, this is starting to feel like work. But I didn't repeat anything for that time period. One, you just don't realize how much do we have to be grateful for, you know? Two eyes that see, one ear or two ears that hear, two arms that work, or one, it's like all this that we have to be grateful for: electricity, air conditioning, refrigeration, plumbing, whatever, and it was just like, the more I wrote, the more I was to be grateful for, because it was drawing in even more things to be grateful for. So I like that. So that is what we have for you, Heart Sense. Again, thank you so much for your donation. Greatly appreciate that. All right. Love 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you really send it? What is up? What is going on? Because Heart Senses came through. Maybe it was like the first one is like it's like they draw you in. The first one works, but then we draw you in for the rest. Let's take a look here. So let's take a look. Let me just pull up my PayPal. Tell you what, just a minor thing. I am grateful that PayPal exists, right? Changing the energy. And I am grateful. And I'm grateful that I really do know my password. There it goes. All right. Open up the transactions. There she blows. All right. So let's access that and we will get to your reading. All right. You love that, Shirley? You like that? Perfect. Perfect. All right. So thank you for your donation. Love 1, 2, 3, 4. You give so many, and I do appreciate that. So let's take a look here. So, question number one. Okay, into your own place. All right, let's take a look here. By August. Okay. All right, and then number two, they want to pull all the cards first. All right, okay. 1, 2, and 3. Ah, and then number 3. Buddha, 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 boo, boo. And what else? I knew there's got to be more than 3 cards. All right. So let's take a first look here. All right. So in your own place here. Um, I don't feel by August. We've got this little there's some conflict going on right now here with this energy, but you have the wish fulfillment. I feel like there's some thoughts and beliefs that are standing in between because that's like your wish fulfillment right there. But I feel like there's some conflict going on that's standing in between it for right now. This is the shaking and the rattling of thought and belief and mindset and boom, 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 that kind of energy that's coming in. So I feel like it's not by August. Let me see here. But I feel like so because you asked by August, but the wish here, when you add 10, 15, 16, 17, 17, 7 plus 1 is 8. I feel like with everything unfolding that you August is a big month for you, right? We already know that there's this huge thing going on, but I feel like in August you you start working out all of this stuff, right? You work through these conflicts and you work through all this stuff, and I feel like wheels start to turn in August, but I don't feel it's by August, and I don't feel like you move in August. But I feel like you're working through releasing these things, releasing. I don't know why does guilt come up in here, but I feel like there's this releasing of some ties and releasing some really deep expectations, family obligations or obligations that come in here. So you're releasing that, and I feel like you start to things start to flow in August towards it, but I don't feel like it happens right away. Let me see. Do we have a time frame here? Okay. Hmm. So we 3 of wands, it's like a change of direction that happens, in your life here. So that's why it's being delayed too, because there's the switch up and there's you get new information that changes, like, your why are they using the word trajectory? I don't know, that's not something I use. Are you a Star Trek fan or something? I don't know. But there's like this change of things where had you made no, not a negative one for sure. It feels like more of a, oh wow, you know, I chose like where I wanted to live, I'd have moved here. But with this other stuff happening, this is a better place for me to live. And so that's where I want to live. And oh God, I'd have got stuck in this one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. Boom. So that's what's coming in there. And are you going abroad this summer? I don't know. I don't think so. Got the temperance card. What's all this holding, all this delay that's happening here? I don't see you going abroad. I do see a lot of action though. There's a lot of joy and celebration and gatherings and parties and things coming together there. And here's the, King of Wands, entrepreneur, energy, 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 going, going, going. It makes sense here too. I feel like you're going to be super busy with all this fire energy here. So I feel like there's a lot of, you're being invited to a lot of things, and you have that. The fall, let's take a look here. What about the fall? When things cool down, you cool down and you're able to travel? Let's take a look. Travel in the fall? Anything? Okay, thank you. No? Hanged man. Whoops, wait. So not abroad. It doesn't mean that you don't travel. I feel like with the Wands energy, you do some traveling, just not abroad. I feel like it's more loco than than further away. All right. And then the big question. So loving things. Let's see here. So death and rebirth. What? This is like the oddest card out of the 4 that you got. But, this is, I don't know what they're showing me. Madonna. Madonna reinvents has reinvented herself. Of course, I'm an old person, so I knew when she was first, you know, becoming popular back in the 80s, right? So they're, reinventing, and, keeping things fresh. They like this rebirth, how you don't let things stagnate, this movement, this changing, this altering of things. So that's what's coming in there. Either that, or did you tell me you were an assassin in a past life, or this is what your hobby was? We'll just keep it between all of us. No, I know that's not it. Because you also have, excuse me, I'm choking on my own spit. We got this, cracking myself up. The 7, which is the chariot card. They love how movement, action, victory. Very, this works very well with the brightness card too here. I mean, you got 3 major arcana. So they see this as huge parts of your life. The brightness, the positivity that you usually keep about things, because this is the power of choice card. And when there's a choice between, focusing on the dark side over the bright side, you try to keep positive, you try to keep things going. And they like how you own your decisions, you own your thoughts, your stories, your emotions, your energy, what you do. You own it, and they like that about you too. So I like those things. And I know these are loving things. Yeah, they're important to them, because they're characteristics that are, with these 3 being major arcana. They feel like this is like your, oh my gosh, they're using corporate lingo. What is it called? Your core values. These are your core values, you know. And I like that. They like that. Because you also have the sun, so they really love the brightness and the warmth and this, childlikeness too. Aren't you a fire sign? I think you are. So there is this energy. They like the not that you're childish, but you like the childlike. You're you see this, possibilities, and you're like, that's where all this positivity comes in too, is that you see the world as this, adventure, instead of like, a long list of things to do. You have this great sense of adventure, this great sense of, like I said, and wonder. That's the word I was looking for. The and wonder that comes in. So they really like that. These are very core values and loving things that I like with all these things. And then they have yeah, okay, I figured. So you've got this, Ace of Pentacles. So the other thing that really comes in here, they love this, um, opportunity. They love this, you know, really, the Ace of Pentacles is like a different way of looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world. So this can mean like confidence. This can mean like not arrogance, thinking you're better than everyone else most of the time. But maybe in the olden days, like earlier, right? But you've matured. Now you are confident in your abilities. You know what you can do and who you are. Uh, only when people rattle your cage do you go into the going, well, I can do it better than they can. But I like it. I like it. That they see this. They love the confidence, the shining bright, all of those things. So I like it. And that's what they have for you. Yeah. Boom, boom. I must be psychic or something. That still cracked me up when you said the other night when you said that. That was funny. Wow, you must be psychic. Oh, aren't we all? Oh, thanks, Julia. When I used to work in the big corporate place, they were like, "Oh my gosh." Um, yeah, exactly. Sometimes the lion has to come out, the Leo. But they used to tell me, "Oh my gosh, your laugh is so evil." I'm like, "I know." Uh, Too funny. All right, but that's what they have for you. So thank you again so much for your donation. Love 1234. And I appreciate that. So that's what they have. I like it. I like it. I like it. I think that was everything. Okay, yeah. So we are good there. Let me just move that out of the way. And do you have one too, Cherry? Too funny. All right. So let's scroll back up. We'll continue down the free readings. So, all right. And thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up that you're giving the video. It does help spread the Zen love. And it, of course, tells me that you guys are enjoying the content. But it also, is part of the love tsunami because YouTube then sends out my other videos as recommended videos. So you can be part of the love tsunami. So thank you guys so much for that. Whoa, as we set cards on fire. All right, so I'm gonna take a quick sip here and then always victory. We are to you. And you want guidance on how to handle next week. All right. Let's see what Spirit says here. Run for your life, it looks like here. Just jokes, just jokes. You know, although they are all walking, right? But the 5 of Pentacles is about this movement away from feelings of lack, of being left out in the cold, abandonment, being left behind. And there's this wonderful journey. I mean, look at the difference between it's like winter and summer. And this is, the Fool card, which is a brand new journey, stepping forward without a lot of expectations. The 5 of Pentacles is a transformation of where we look for our worth, where we look for our abundance, and where we feel we're getting our sustenance from. These people feel left out in the cold. Here's this church, and no one's helping them, and these humans have let them down. And that's what happens, when we depend on humans for our sustenance. We have every right to be scared. I talk about that, right? Because when the human goes into fight or flight mode, we will pull the clothes off your back. I need that coat back that I gave you. I need it for me. We're self-survival. That's what happens with our human side of it. But the and so that's why we understand why we feel abandoned, because humans do abandon us, leave us behind, leave us out in the cold. But when we realize that it's the creator, it's the spirit world that brings us what we need in each moment, it changes things. We start building this trusting relationship. One, when you realize I've had everything I've needed in my life up to this moment, or I wouldn't be here and be alive, right? So it's like, okay, I'll give you that. I can trust you that I'm always going to have what I need, and they always want to give us more. It's usually us that gets in the way between, that we don't feel we're worthy to receive, and we're have these force fields pushing things away, which we talk about on the channel here, right? The imbalanced giving and receiving that we have when we're young children, that keep we push away abundance and love and all these things. So there is this change here, this change of belief, this change of understanding where our sustenance comes from. And as we are looking at here and going, I can trust you, we build this because they have unconditional love and unlimited resources. So they want to give us everything we need and even stuff we want because they love us so much. But it's humans that, when we depend on them, that will let us down. They sometimes are the shipping company. Creator will send stuff through people, but they don't need them to give us stuff too. They can, miraculously bring things around through our life without human involvement sometimes. So we like that. But I love the full card with this stepping out without expectation, trusting the path, trusting things will unfold, watching where we're investing our energy. Because when we're focusing in on our fears, and that these humans are going to pull things out and not give us what we need, and da 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 da, what are we doing? We're working against the creator, and we're like, no, I want this stuff to come in, and they're like, okay, we'll bring you more of that lower vibrational fear stuff, right? But it's all about switching what we're focusing on and focusing on this trusting relationship. I just feel like this is the energy is to trust the flow and be willing to just step forward without a lot of expectations around the how, the when, the who, the what, and just allow yourself to trust the flow, trust the creator, and just see how that goes. I know you're like, what? But that's what's coming through. And what an exciting thing. I know it's not sensible to our human side. And I'm gonna give you one quick example, and then I'll continue on here. But, that how because they're reminding me of how they, helped me, build my trust in them. It's when I lived in this city, when I was moving away 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and, I had so much to do. I had to get my condo ready to sell and do this and I had, like, this long list of things to do in a very short period of time. And I was like, "Oh my god, if I am going to have to," because Spirit was saying, "Now we want you to move instead of a year from now, we want you to move in 4 months." And then I'm like, "Okay, well, I can do that." And they're like, "Actually, we want you to move in 2 months." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you trying to do to me?" Um, but I was like, in order for that to happen, I had already put a bunch of stuff in my living room that I was gonna get rid of, that I wasn't gonna take with me. And I was like, well, if we're gonna do that, then I need to get rid of all that stuff in the living room so I can have the carpets replaced and paint. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I swear, within 5 minutes, my phone dinged, and a friend of mine had hit me up on like Facebook Messenger and said, "Hey, were you still trying to get rid of some stuff? Because I have so and so here, and they have a friend that has to totally restart over. They'll come pick up everything, this weekend, which was like in 3 days, and they'll just take it all off your hands." And I was like, "What just happened?" And that's the kind of trust that they will build with you too. So that's what they wanted me to share with you. So that's what's coming through. Always victory. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh. Well, yeah, synchronicity and understanding those things. Yeah, I have, you know, the that you've been through a lot of BS listening to spirit. Um, I just I someday we're gonna look and go, "Oh, now we see what you were doing," right? Because, I found in my life some, as I get especially as I get older, I realize, oh, the stuff that I went through in my 20s and my 30s, I'm starting to I see more now. I'm like, oh, even like feeling abandoned by my family and, not having a lot of time and being alone a lot and all this. I'm like, oh, I see why you wanted me to have that, because I'm very independent. I spend a lot of the time getting to know the creator and spirit and everything. I'm like, oh, now I know why you wanted me to go through that. I see the benefit of it now, 30 years later, right? But so hang in there, always victory. It's building that trust, trusting that we know that they truly are on our side, even though sometimes it's hard for us to see it, our human side anyway, right? So hang in there, always victory. All right. So, Christy, hello, hello. So, what does Spirit want you to know right now? Let's take a look here. Right. Wow. So you've been doing the work. I think you get this card a bit here. You've been doing the work, putting in the blood, the sweat, and the tears, and you have like this beautiful progression that's happening in your life here. They're just wanting you to know that things are rolling. I almost want to do it like this, and it's like the wheels on the bus go round and round, and it's like it is like this bus. It's like it's a moving. It may not feel like it's moving. There's this great shocks on the bus, and there's this movement that's happening in your life, and you're headed towards this wonderful Ten of Cups, fulfilling overflowingness that's unfolding here. And so I like it. They have the Eight of Pentacles does tell us though that with all the changes that you've been going through, you are coming to some choice points in your life where because people that aren't changing, it's like you're lifting off and they're like, "Whoa." They can't lift off, so they have to stop because you're headed off and they are left behind because, I think you've heard that example where, spirit was showing because they're showing me the caterpillar and the butterfly where there's all these caterpillars and they all decide, yeah, we're all going to go into the cocoons and we're all going to become butterflies and we're going to head off and go on these adventures and head into this whole new thing in our life. Like, yeah, let's go. And so you get into your cocoon and you're doing your stuff and you're doing your transformation and, you're, becoming a butterfly. And you get out of the cocoon and you look and you're like, why are you guys still caterpillars? They're like, we started to make a cocoon, but then we got hungry and we're like, we really like these leaves, and we see butterflies eating nectar, and I don't know if we'd really like that. So we think we're just gonna, hang out here and be caterpillars. And you're like, well, there's a problem here that I'm not a caterpillar and I have wings and I'm not going to walk alongside of you guys, and I'm definitely not carrying you. So, well, I'm going to go flutter and go on some adventures, but maybe I'll come back and check on you guys, or maybe not. And I feel like this is what is coming in here is there is this movement, these choice points that are coming up where it's like off into the wild blue yonder you go, fluttering and going places that the caterpillars cannot go because there's streams that caterpillars will drown trying to get across, but you will flutter across them without even realizing it. And it's okay. It's like, well, you guys go do your caterpillar things. I'm gonna go do some butterfly stuff, but I'll update my butterfly Instagram page and show you some pictures of where I've gone. So that's fun. That's that's what they have for you, Christy. So you are very welcome. Many blessings to you. What's going on with Spirit tonight? I feel giddy. Maybe it's because there's like this thunderstorm going on and I see all the lightning outside. Maybe there's this electricity in the air. All right. So Esther E, you are up next. And you want to know when you would meet your soulmate. Is it this year and how? All right. So let's take a look here. Are you going to meet your soulmate this year? That's one card. Um, and of course, you eventually will meet your soul partner. So how will you meet them? So we'll see. If it's not this year, you'll still have how you'll meet them here. There's not a set time here. There's a possibility because here's the Seven of Cups. It's like you have all these choices, and the seven is the chariot number, the major arcana chariot, which means there's a lot of choices to be made that can influence the range of when you meet your soul partner. So they're saying that it can be this year, but also cannot be this year, depending on the inner work that you do in the shadow work. Because if we're at a lower vibration, um, we're going to be still drawing in lower vibrational things. It's like a giant, a hot air balloon has a lot. We have a lot of sandbags that keep us at a lower vibration, and the more we snip them off, and as we review them and let go of old mindsets that no longer serve us and emotions that no longer serve us, and we chop those off, then we rise and we rise and we rise. And that's where you bump into each other, is up here. So if they're doing their work and you're doing your work, then you'll bump into each other. But things will be delayed if, like, you're supercharging doing your work, but they're just dragging their butt. It'll delay it, right? Or if it's the other way around, that would be the same too, which I don't think that would be you. But as you both work on your inner selves, that's what's raising your vibration and drawing you guys to one another. So there is a possibility of this year, but there's also a possibility of not, because it's a wide range that's open. It's not a destined, fated date to meet. It's a range that you can meet within. So I like that it's within your guys' hands though, right? How you meet, you have the Hierophant here. I feel like you meet at a wedding, because this can represent, they, the Hierophant, the spiritual teachers preside over weddings and events, and that's what's coming in here. I don't get that a ton, but I feel like you meet at a wedding, of other people, not your own, although sometimes there are arranged marriages like that, but this is not that. This is like you bump into each other at someone else's wedding. So friends of friends, getting married, and you don't know each other because it's friends of friends, and you're like, wow. And then that's where the spark happens. That's where you meet each other. So I like it for you. But that's what they have coming in for you, Esther E. So I know, right? I'm getting working on that, you know, self love and raising my vibration. Come on, bring it on. All right. So that's what they have for you, Esther. Many blessings to you. All right. All right, very good. You are very welcome. Talking about the new moon, and so you were. Your question up above was, this is Cherry. Hey, Cherry. There was a time where you were looking in the mirror and you couldn't take your eyes off of your own eyes. You want to know what actually happened? Well, you were actually hypnotizing yourself. I'm just kidding. Why are they being so goofy? I don't know. What is happening? What is happening? What was in this coffee? I don't know what it was, but we're drinking some more, and I think it's just the energy. Um, which is what was going on. It was like you were connecting here. You got Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and you had the 10 of Wands, which represents a lot of energy. And whatever what was going on that day in that mirror there, you were, it's almost like your higher self, was looking back at you. You're It's like this. I felt like there was this connection that day between your child self, your human self, and your higher self. It was almost like you caught a glance of each other in the mirror, and you just felt this. Whatever energy was going on that day too was like there was just this connection that you were just like, "Whoa, wait a minute," I'm observing myself as someone other than myself, if that makes sense. So I feel like it was a definitely this energetic connection that initiated there, and it was for you here. You got this new birth. I feel like it was a new beginning of new energies, endings and new beginnings and birth. So there, and definitely that energy is here too, with a rebirth happening within you. And it was just time, for you to spot one another, even though maybe you weren't conscious of it, but it was the unconsciousness, uh, that was within you that was connecting, and it was this thing that was happening. So hopefully that makes sense, Jerry. But that's what I feel was coming in. So many blessings to you. You knew that. I'm glad. I'm glad you knew that. Is it the water energy? Is that what it is, Felicia? All the rain and everything influencing my Pisces moon and all that Pisces water I have in my and all the other water I have in my chart. I'm like, woo, energized. All right, so double, triple, quadruple X, you're up next. Um, I'm definitely not on drugs because I have avoided those all my life. Knock on wood, because uh, I was enough. I actually had a boss once ask me, because I had this natural high in my life, I guess all that connection with spirit, right? And then they were like, "Are you on drugs?" And I'm like, "No." And they go, "Why are you so happy all the time?" So that was funny. All right. So double, triple, quadruple X. Should you move from the place you're living at, you're not feeling safe. Um, you need help with knowing how to make your moves. All right. So let's take a look here. Well, we'll ask here just, is it for your highest experience to move? And then any advice they have on the move. Okay, they give you two for that. Yeah. Yeah. New journey, new adventure, move it. Definitely an absolute yes there. So, no question. It is time to move it. A new journey, a new adventure. Um, how? So, we got the Queen of Wands here. So Queen, she rolls over her energy. Little black kitty, all the queens have a second portion, which is water, and that's connection to the spirit world. So we've got this energy that you have of whatever you focus on is what grows and expands. So if you're fearing, and if you have a fear like I'm never going to be able to get out of here, wherever we're investing all our energy, we're expanding and growing that. So the first piece of advice that spirit has is be aware of what energy you're focusing on in each moment, because you are powerful, you are expanding whatever you're focusing on. So when you start to be grateful for, like, I'm grateful for where I'm living, and I'm grateful that you're providing me a way to move into a safer location. And when you start to focus on the gratitude and the positive energies that raises your love vibration, it draws in that match, right? We talk about this a lot on this channel recently. It's like a huge thing. um, but when we're focusing on our fears, we're drawing in these lower vibrational experiences. And if we fear, like, I'll never get out of here, we're telling the universe, I really enjoy the feeling of not being able to get out of here. Can you make it last longer? We don't want that, right? We want the other. We also have here with this, it's the emotional power of choice card coming in here, which, is part of that energy, because we're choosing the story we're putting in a moment, the emotions we're feeling, the energy we're putting out, right? So all of that is influencing our experience. And if I can start to focus less on fear and victimhood and more on gratitude and victorhood, if that's a word, and that's what draws and grows, right? So I like all of that. That's one of the ways of how to make the moves, is to move the energy. Then you start to see your outside world move and change too. But I also feel like here there's an important relationship here. No, it's not saying find someone that to love and move in with them. That's not it at all. um, this is that there is an existing important friendship or family or something that can aid you in this. And so be open to advice, or even temporarily moving in with someone just to get you out of danger, get to where you're feeling safe, so that you can get on your feet where you can choose somewhere. So be open to that, and be open to, asking someone and letting them know how you feel unsafe. And, if you can make a temporary arrangement to be somewhere, um, and to be able to transition somewhere, or they know somewhere that you can move to, or they have information to help you. But I just really feel like It's an important close friendship. Oh my god, because it came out again, out of the deck. So there definitely is this important friendship, that helps you, with that. So that is what is coming through for you double, triple, quadruple X. So hopefully that helps, and stay safe. Sending you lots of love and, energy there. All right. So, Butterfly A, you'll be the next free reading coming up here. So True, you're asking if that if the eyes changed anything, shift anything in the physical world. Um all of our energy influences the outside world, so I feel like it it started to change your perception of the outside world would be a more accurate depiction of what happened in that moment. It like changed your perspective, if that makes sense. Surely. We have the possibility to be happy all the time, but that's not what we came here either. It's like going to a fear amusement park, but you don't ride the rides. They're like, "Why did you come?" "I wanted to hold everyone's purses." No, you know, we came here to ride the rides. It's an ebb and flow that we go in, but in the beginning, it feels like we're just getting slammed by waves against the shore until we realize there's an ebb and a flow, and we have a joy, and we learn to swim instead of getting bashed by all the waves, right? Then it becomes this beautiful, okay, I'm enjoying, it's like a cold pool and a warm hot tub, right? We talk about the energies. The higher level vibration energies are the hot tub, and the lower vibrational energies are like a cool pool. It's different temperatures on the same scale. It's all love energy, just different vibrations. And we came here to experience the cool pool, and we enjoy it when it's 120 degrees out. Like, let's go swimming in the cold pool of drama. Yeah. And then when we're tired of that, we're like, "Brr, I'm cold. I'm going to jump in the hot tub." And when we get in the hot tub a while and we're like, I feel like a boiling frog, I'm going to go jump in the pool and really freak myself out. It's when we realize the power we have of emotional choice, that we're not stuck in the cold pool, that we always have an option to choose the warmer hot tub, then we don't freak out about the cold pool so much because we're like, okay, I'm shivering. Let's go jump in the hot tub, and then we transform our emotions in a moment. So hopefully that helps with that. I'm gonna leave my blinds open because I like watching the lightning. I'm just not gonna get distracted. I'm purposing I'm not going to. All right. All right. So Butterfly A, you'd like a general reading for the rest of June. Absolutely. And if you haven't checked out your monthly, be sure to do that, because you'll get more information there. Wow, you got two sixes. So we've got and here's is June. What do you know? 6 and 6. So, we've got the Six of Pentacles and we've got the Six of Cups. Both of these are about wonderful balancing energy. We've got the Gemini new moon happening, the split personality of the Gemini, but it feels very balancing. Six of Cups, emotional balance on either side. Outside world balance, financial balance, abundance balance in the outside world. So there's this balancing. It's like I see scales in my mind going creak, 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 as they're balancing out. There's going a little bit this way, a little bit that way, but they're balancing out. And I feel like it has to do here with some inner child work you did with the Six of Cups, because it also influences your Six of Pentacles. Because we talk about the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups can be about child self and inner child, and the things we experience when we're younger. 7 years old and younger is when our emotional body is usually around that created. We have a lot of rules that get stuck down in our subconscious, especially about the giving and receiving, right? The out of balance. Like, I had to give a ton of love coins to someone in my life when we're younger to get very little back, and little inner child knows no better and goes, "Oh, that seems fair. Let's just keep that down here." And then we have this out of balance scale that's impacting our life that keeps things from coming in. We've probably talked about this before, but there's this release I feel that you've done where you've questioned and adjusted that out of balance giving and receiving. And now you're starting to see the balancing effects start coming in. And you're like, what is happening here? It's because of this inner work that you've done or that you're doing right now of bringing from the unconscious to the conscious. Who was it that I felt I had to overgive to like 1,000 love coins to get one love coin back? When we question that, we're able to go, oh, nope, that's not. We can tell our little inner child, come here, let me pick you up. Let's have a little chat and just go, I can see where you're coming from that, it seemed like that was a fair trade value, but it's not. Let's adjust that. Let's go in here. Let's just delete these zeros and get it down to 1 to 1. How does that look? And they're like, I'd like that a lot better. And like, all right, so that's good. Let's go forward with that now. And I feel like that's what's changing in your life for the rest of June. So I like that for you, butterfly. Many, many blessings to you. All right. So Eliza, hello, hello. Blessings to you. And you want to know the situation of Alex in general. All right. So General Alex, let's see what's going on here. Well, Alex in general, emotional confusion, and uh, they've had it with expectations. Because this is a good card to get. These are all the small t truths, the supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts and blah 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 that we feel we have to, you know, do to make everyone else happy, and they're not dead, they're exhausted trying to live up to all that. That's where the 10 comes in. It's like I'm ending and I'm beginning a new way of looking at things. I'm tired of doing what everyone else wants. I'm going to do what I want, but they're still confused what they want emotionally. They're like, all right, well, what do I want? I'm tired of doing what everyone else wants, but what do I want? And I feel like they're in this confused, state right now, trying to figure out what they do want in their life, and they're just tired of uh, feeling like they're disappointing people and disappointing everyone, and feeling disappointed because when when we have all these rules, when we have all these supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts that are flying around that we feel we have to live up to, by golly, we are going to make sure everyone else is doing it too, right? We police it and go, no, if I have to do this, so do you, and everyone else has different rules. And we're like, why are you trying to put that on me? You need to obey my rules. And that's where all this conflict in the world comes in, because we're so determined that our small t truths are more truer than your small t truths. So do what I expect you to do. But no, I don't have to do what you expect me to do. And so there's all this stuff that's flying in here. So their situation just seems, I don't know if this is someone that we talk about quite a bit. It makes sense because it feels like their life has been a continual storm, uh, and which is great because that's what shakes and rattles and wakes us up. So that's what's coming in, Eliza. So hopefully that's helpful, but that's what they have coming in. So many blessings to you. All right, Felicia, hello, hello. We're out to you. So, is this job offer, is this going to be a short-term job? All right, let's take a look here. No, it doesn't seem to be here. I mean, we've got a new birth, a new harvest, and we've got the 8 of Wands. It comes in fast and furious, a lot of energy, a lot of movement within it, but I don't feel like it's a movement away from it. I feel like this is a birth. Got a major arcana, which is creativity and birthing and Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. I feel like it's I don't feel like it's short term. I feel like it comes in fast, but I feel like it's a harvest. It stays. It's not something that um, it's like I'm seeing a farm that continually grows and has a harvest, not like a one-time purchase, type of I bought a bag of salad at the grocery store. It's like, no, I'm growing fields of salad every year and I'm selling it. It's that kind of feel to it. So I don't feel like it's short term. I feel like it's actually um a quite a intentions are long term with it. So that's what I feel is coming in there here. Yeah. So hopefully that helps, Felicia. So many blessings to you. And lovely, lovey. Hello, hello, Zen dude. So how was TR treated as a child? He seems like he could be a very nice person. Well, let's take a look here. So how was he treated as a child and did he overcome it, right? Let's take a look here. Oh, okay. Well, it does feel like they came from a militant background. The emperor, it feels like, one of the emperor's children, and they were very strict and very kept very in order. So maybe they can't come from a military background or military material, not materialistic, but what I'm trying to say, militaristic background that felt very, very strict, very a lot of rules. Rah, rah, rah. I am the emperor, and they um, rolled by a firm hand, is what I feel. But I did ask, did they get over it? And I feel like with the two of wands, they have. They learned that they get to choose so much here where they invest their energy and what they do with it, because they saw how they felt when treated this way, and I feel like they were like one of many children, and they kind of felt like um, I don't know, abandoned, left behind, left out in the cold kind of energies. But it also allowed them to look at the world in a different way and go, you know what, I'm not attached to family. I'm not attached to that. Maybe to some brothers and sisters, but they're like more looking at life as an adventure, and that is what you make it, because um, all of these expectations around what a family should or shouldn't be and blah blah blah, they realized no, that's not true, and so they realize life is what you can make it. So I really like it. I like this energy. I feel like they've really overcome a lot and achieved a lot, and overcoming these things, and they chose not to allow it to be something that brought them and chained them down, but something that catapulted them into living life instead of, being suppressed, if that makes sense. So that's what's coming through, Lovey. I like them. I like them. All right. So that's what's coming through, Felicia. All right. Yeah, you're going to work hard for sure, Felicia. A lot of energy. All right. Julia, hello, hello. So, can you tell me what you can expect for the rest of June with David? So, based on current energies, all right, what is moving forward here? Yay! Emotional confusion and wish fulfillment. What? I know. So, they're getting you're wishing upon a star. You have some wishes. It's interesting that there's 7 stars here, which represent the 7 chakras for balance, and we've got the 7 of emotions here. So it's like there's this correlation that they're bringing in my brain around, the 7 chakras and, wishes come true, that things are coming online. Oh, that's what they're showing me. Okay. So, have you ever, if you have like a modem with all these lights on them, and this is so funny. If you ever have like the power goes out or you have to unplug it and plug it back in to reboot it, slowly it's like blink, 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 all the stuff slowly starts coming online. it's like that's what's happening. That's what you can expect for the rest of June is you're starting to see some of the stuff come online, like, "Oh, look, we've got internet." But you're like, "It's still not connected." "Oh, now we have Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is active now." I feel like it's, like, slowly things are coming online, to match what you're looking with your dreams coming here. But in that's funny that they're showing it here. It's like we can't rush it, it's like, "Well, let me unplug it and plug it back in." "Oh, crud." Now it's starting over from the beginning again, right? So it's like there's this patience knowing that things are slowly coming online. So that's what we have there. But I feel like some energy centers, and I feel like it starts from the lower, which of course is the root chakra, which is passion and physicalness, right? And then it goes into the sacral, which is relationship more. And then, the solar plexus is our power, then the heart chakra, and then voicing, and then seeing, and then higher spiritual connection, right? So it's like things are coming online. So that's what's coming through. So many blessings to you, Julia. All right. Hey, hey, Shane. Hello to you, by the way. You're funny. And are you going to talk to R this weekend? Let's take a look here. I feel like you are without cards. They're having me channel without cards suddenly. Well, I'm always channeling without cards, but I like to see the cards. Yeah. Victory, wonderfulness, and 6 of pentacles is balancing, equal things in the outside world where you feel full enough to give to others too. So I and you have 2 sixes here. So, definitely I feel, that you will, talk to them this weekend because 'cause you're gonna feel like, "Yeah," rainbows. So that's what's coming in. I like it. I like it, Shane. That is a positive message. All right. So many, many blessings. Surely those fries. I need to go get some fries. Holy shit. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, now that I just said that and you mentioned it too, Cherry, and this is for all of you with all of your spiritual gifts that they're active. We don't need cards to do readings. Obviously, we can channel without them. We get messages, but our humans, you've probably heard that we learn through stories. We're visual beings. Our humans are, and that's why you had cave drawings and stories and how we can have photographic memory because that's how we learn and that's how we really communicated before was through seeing. And so, when we see pictures, it really brings the message into our human side and really grounds it and roots it like an anchor, right? So it's like almost our human is seen as believing, right? But we can, I used to sit around like fire pits and campfires, and my friends who knew me would be like, what does spirit have to say to me today? And I'm all, it's just like it just comes in. um but the majority, we love to have cards, right? So interesting, right? All right, so Shirley, she's like, come on, get to my reading. um Happy Friday. Oh, okay, I get it now. You'd like, ask, what does the guy you spent time with today want in your connection? Oh, all right. Let's see here. What is the guy? What does this guy want? So they want that card. What else? Oh, and that one. Okay. Mhm, mhm. So they're kind of in this crossroads. I mean, there are a lot of their mind here. Are they an air sign? Because it's like this card is like, trying to tell them, "Close your eyes and open your heart, dude." But, I feel like with the Page of Swords here, they're very intellectual, very much in their mind, and they like communication. They want conversation, they want, um, communicate well, I said communication, how many times have I said communication? Because it feels like that's what they're saying. They want communication, they want intellectual conversation, um, and I feel like they're very much, air signy that's coming in with all of these swords, right? And it just feels like they are wanting what is this newness coming in here? This new I don't wanna say a new chance. Let me pull another card here because it's like they're wanting new, but it's not like they're, trying to get in, into your bed. I was trying to find a nice way to say that. I feel like they're wanting connection, conversation, communication. I knew there was another C coming in there. Yeah, because they've been deceived in the past. The 7, they've really had people who've been untrue, and they want not for you to prove yourself, but for they need to see and interact before they trust, if that makes sense. So I feel like they were there was, interest, but before they leap in, because they've leaped in before, and and they want to get to know you. They really want to get to know you. Interesting. He's gay. No, I'm just kidding. Jokes, just jokes, and oh, it's just funny tonight. Just funny tonight. Okay, so we'll continue down the list here. So, new moon, hello. And you want to know, how does the person on your mind feel about you? All right, let's take a look here. I am doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. I feel like I'm high. What is happening to me? It must be all of your guys' energy combined too. Okay. So, you know, I feel here there's this, the 8 of Pentacles is about movement in the outside world. And we have the Hierophant, which is one, I feel like they're trying to understand what it is they truly want in their life and what they want, so I feel like they're trying to figure things out. But, this for me today has been kind of this, uh, this is like a priest, a spiritual leader who marries people. And I feel like there's this energy here of, could that be? And they feel like they're working on themselves and they're working towards, wanting partnership, wanting to be with someone. And they feel like they've been doing everything to try to get in that direction, and they're seeing things move. And I feel like that there is this idea, this, you know, feeling of like, I could see that, but I don't feel like they are like buying a ring or anything. I just feel like they're just like, I want to work towards that, and I feel like I want to work towards that. I want to go that direction, but I don't feel like they're like sprinting toward it. I feel like they're taking little baby steps because it's scaring the crap out of them. So, that's what I feel the feelings are coming in new moon. So, hopefully that resonates. You're like, "Yeah, I can see him." It's like a little deer looking in the headlights, right? "Oh my gosh, what's happening to me?" All right. That is what is coming in. I know, Cherry. What is happening? Oh, okay. Well, that's good that it's platonic. But, I feel like they do wanna grow closer, but, that's what's happening. Interesting. Alright. So, Andrea, 54 Hector, you are up next. So, what is your outcome if you move back to Chicago and leave your Leo boyfriend of 3 years? Okay, let's take a look here and see how that unfolds here. All right. Okay. Wow. So they just really wanted to bring it home. They gave you 4 cards instead of 2. You have the King of Pentacles, abundance, overflowingness, success. See ya. Enjoy Chicago. Because we have the full card, a new adventure, a new journey. We've got the page of swords, new thought, new belief, new ways of looking at things, and you have the king. I'm sorry, the knight of pentacles, which is movement and pursuit of seeing your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way too. I feel this is part of your adventure that happens here, but definitely all signs point to positiveness here, which maybe that's not what you wanted to see, or maybe it was. You're just like, okay, yeah, this feels solid. This feels fulfilling. It feels full. Um, so I feel like there's more fulfillment waiting for you in a new adventure, definitely in Chicago. So that is what is coming in. So many blessings to you, Andrea. All right. Excuse me, let's take a quick sip here. All righty, let's see where we're at here. You're welcome, new moon. Take care. All right, so we took care of those. We answered those. All right, we took care of those. Took care of those. You guys are so funny. That's great, Cherry. I did not know that. So you're saying that the evil laugh is a sign of high vibration? My vibration must be really high because my I'm just kidding. All right. I like that. We took care of those. Sorry, I'm just scrolling down, making sure I'm not missing anyone. All right, very good. All right. Wow. I'm just laughing at everyone's comments, so sorry. All right, Benita Bala, we are all the way down to you. So we're almost through here. Um, so Cherry, you said living your life must be an amazing extra adventure. All of our lives are pretty much that way. I didn't think so about 30, let me see, about 34 years ago, because I was gonna end my life 34 years ago. So I'm definitely glad I made the choice to hang around because it's been a blast. Um, but I feel very, very grateful for the life that I've ended up in. And I'm grateful for everything I went through because it made it who I am today. Too funny. All right, Benita, hello, hello. So, how does GS feel about you currently? Let's take a look here. How does GS feel about you currently? All right. So these came out here first, and then we have these here too. All right. Yeah, I can see here. They're I don't know if they really know, but you've got two fives here. Let me show you them together here. So you've got, two kind of victory cards here. Well, this is like emotional balance here, and you've got the Sun card, which is a victory card. You got two fives here. And fives represent like in the process of this change and this transformation, right? So the Hierophant is about them diving deep within and trying to find out what they want and what they truly want in life, because that's what this combination of these two cards comes together. Here's the Three of Cups. These are the loves they've had in the past, right? You can see how pleased and pleasant they were with those, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, so they're definitely on little thing here that they just felt unfulfilled, and here's this love that was out here. This is this higher love that's being offered, and this is this inner journey. They're trying to figure out what it is they truly want, and who do they truly want to be, what they truly want to achieve. And I just feel like there's this, you know, um, and it has nothing to do with people on the outside, like these three cups that they were trying to fulfill themselves from, which actually are relationships, situations, and things, left them feeling empty. But this higher love, the self love, is what's being offered, which is what they're truly hungering after, right? So there's this, transformation. Because again, something that starts off here with the Five of Wands feeling very fiery, very conflicting, ends up transforming in, because five is the number of transformation, right? And then Leo energy here too. They're diving deep into their subconscious. So I almost feel like whatever happens here is they're in a kind of this epiphany. The sun is shining light into areas of their life here, and you know, I don't, you know feel like there's this outward focus on other people's emotions, if that makes sense. I feel like with the combination of all these, it just feels like they're in this inner reflection, and when they think about you and they're thinking about other relationships, they're kind of looking at it as patterns of why did all this keep happening to me, or why is this going on, or they're just looking at it as a reflection on what they can do to change that, how they can not have it happen again, because I feel like it's not the first time, and they want it to be the last, because they're just tired of uh, going through what they've gone through over and over again, is what I feel with all this. And so they're really looking at having this light shine bright even into the cobwebby corners of the stuff that they have been avoiding seeing, and they're opening the closet doors and seeing the skeletons and all of that. Yeah. So it's like they're realizing and having kind of, like I said, mini epiphanies that are happening, and sincerely they're trying to change things, but I still wouldn't take them back until, if you have the strong attraction for them. It's like they have to show you that they've changed, not just tell you. But I don't feel like you are wanting to go back that. I feel like you're wanting to move forward, 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 forward. Um, yeah, I don't have anything else coming out here. I thought they were going to tell me, yeah, Tower. People moved out of your life for a reason, on purpose, for purpose, so that you can move forward. Someone more in alignment with where you're headed there. So I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Um, so that's what they have for you, Benita. So enjoy, move forward. Yay. Alrighty. And I think that was the last of it here. So I don't have um any other, I believe, here. So we finished in an, well, an hour and 45 minutes. So that is quite all right. And just to make sure everyone knows as well, that I do have a drawing every Monday. And here is the link to that. Every Tuesday, I'll put out a video announcing what I'm giving away the following Monday, what you have to do to get into the drawing, and any other giveaway news. So be sure to check that out if you want to get into the drawing. I'm going to be giving away two 30-minute personal recorded readings. And also, there's a special giveaway in the new Take 10 with Zen, which is something I just started today. And so there's a giveaway embedded in this first video. for another 30-minute personal recorded reading. So if you want to check that out, it's something I'm going to do each week until I don't. And then also, of course, we have our monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign. And so here's the playlist for that if you want to check out those. And then also each week, I put out at least one pick a card reading, and this week's was What Can I Be Watching For? And I have a ton of other pick a cards on my homepage and my playlist and some other free content too, if you guys ever want to check that out. So those are all available. And thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up that you've given the video. It does help spread the Zen love. So thank you so much for being part of the love tsunami coming in here. So those were it. And hey, all right. Hey, Miss G, you got in right as the elevator doors were closing there. So let's take a look here. What are Libra's deep feelings for you? Let's take a look here. What are Libra's deep feelings for you? Absolutely. It's like this umbrella. Alright, hey. Oh, wow. Well, we definitely have some grounding energy here. Um, so, their deep feelings, they see this as a new opportunity. And in a way, and I don't, this is kind of it's what all humans do, but it kind of feels like what? But this is their defining their worth, their outside worth, um, around relationships, around attraction, around things like that. And so, the page is usually that they're searching for looking at their worth in a different way in relationship to the outside world. And then here's the king with the worth in their lap here. They feel like they've achieved it. So their deep feelings, almost has to do with security and how they judge their worth about who they can be with and who's attracted to them. Just feels it doesn't feel, horrible, but it just feels like, okay, you know, but what about me? It feels like their deep feelings have to do about them and not like not like narcissistic, if but it's like insecurity, if that makes sense. And they look to a lot of the outside way they look at themselves. So I feel like they care a lot about their body and how they look and what they wear um and then what they own and who they're with. They really excuse me, use the outside world a lot to define themselves, which we're all kind of taught, but I feel like they are, that they're really caught up into it a lot. Yeah. And so they are trying to look at all of that and, who's looking at me? Who's paying attention to me? How do they feel about me? Me, which when we, you know, I used to call them boasters when I worked in corporate life, when I would train people about 5 different personality types that you get on the phone, and one of them was, I called him a boaster, and people are like, "Oh, I hate them." And I'm like, "But really, people who boast, they don't believe half of the stuff they spew because they feel they're down here and that everyone else is up here." And that's that insecurity, right? So they feel they're down here and they will boast themselves up, um, to feel like they're equal to other people. But most of us in society, most of us have low self-esteem to start off, right? So we feel we're down here and they're up here, and we feel like they're boasting to make themselves even better. And we're like, we don't like it. And I'm just the person to deflate them, because that's what happens is everyone goes, "Why are you trying to get ahead of us?" And like, I'm not, I'm just trying to get up to where you're at. But they don't believe half the stuff that they say, because people who are truly pop the balloon, because um, you know, people who are confident don't have to talk about it, and so that's what's coming in. Yeah. Their ego needs deflating, and I'm just the person to do it. Pop. But that's the thing that we can do for them is to really um, allow them to see the person who they really are and that they really are, equal with everyone else, that they don't, have to. But that's how we do it. We sincerely give them love and sincerely tell them things. Do you know that this is something that you do that is amazing? Truly, sincerely. And they're just like, what? You know, they're just going to have like this, uh, this, what is it, a deer and then headlights look like, what did you just say? but, um, but that's what's coming in. Interesting. Interesting. So I don't feel like they have deep feelings for others because, oh, yeah, you know, we can't love others if we don't love ourselves. We can't have feelings for others if we don't love ourselves. And we definitely can't love others or receive love from others more than to the extent that we love ourselves. So it's pretty low. Something, of course, happened to them earlier in their life to deflate their esteem. They definitely were not built up. They were torn down in their life. And so poor little I my heart breaks for little children who are crying, and whenever I see someone doing those things, I know I can just feel the little hurt child, the little crying little boy or crying little girl, or however they identify. It's like, oh, just want to pick them up and hold them and give them love and protect them, right? But they chose their journey, and that's the thing, is that you don't have to rescue them. You can give them unconditional love, but you don't have to rescue them. So I know. So that's what's coming in, Mishti. So thank you so much. I'm glad you made it into the elevator. Um, but that is it for this evening, everybody. So I will be back though. I'm here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and then also Wednesday through Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So I shall return. So until I see you guys again, enjoy your rest of your evening or day wherever you're at in the world, and know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you guys again, much love to you. You hang in there, you take care, and we'll see you soon. Have a good night.